Hello and welcome to the first video in a brand new build series. Now, for those of you that watch the channel quite a bit, you'll know that I built my Mini Drak from Right Wing, something I bought in summer 2018, fell out of love with because it's a lot of effort to actually put one of those together, and then as part of the community build, you as my viewers voted to build it, and I'm so pleased you did because it flies incredibly well. It's such good fun. Now, I put the DJI HD system in that. I'll put links down below to both the Drak build and the community build that kind of covers how I put all that together and how I got it flying. But I'm afraid you've started something because I bought myself a Nano Drak. Now this is the baby brother to the Mini Drak. It is smaller, not a huge amount smaller, I must admit, but this one I'm going to put in traditional FPV, so analog FPV, probably something like a run cam, split or hybrid or something like that, so I record HD, keep the battery, the weight in the battery, so get nice long flight times, and then put a flight controller in here, probably stick iNav in it. But I want to go through and show you every single step of how this is going to be put together. Only because when I was looking for videos on how you build this thing, the resources around are crap. So I'm going to document how I build this. So if you have one of these and you want to see how to actually put it together, you can follow along. The process is pretty identical to the Mini Drak. So in terms of sinking carbon fiber rods that come in a kit into these channels, having to cut those channels yourself, having to glue pieces in, trim these things off, these mold marks with a brand new knife, all that stuff is kind of the same. But I thought I'll document it, and then if you want to follow along, you absolutely can. In this video, all I'm going to do is show you how it comes in the box, just so if you're thinking of getting one of these, you're under no illusions that you get a kit, not a model that's ready to start bolting electronics onto. So with that said, let's go onto the bench. I'll show you how it's come, and I've got links down below to where I bought it from. I bought this one from HobbyRC here in the UK. So this is exactly how my stuff's arrived. Came in a big box with lots of bubble wrap around each of these pieces, so big thank you to HobbyRC, who I bought this from, for making sure that it arrived in one piece. But you can see here, hopefully in each of the packages, how everything is supplied separate. So the carbon spars you have to glue into position, the balsa elevons, the winglets, the guides for the spars that go through the main body into the wings. Everything is here, but you're going to have to put it together yourself with a couple of various little ways that, to be fair, I've already used when I built the Mini Drak. So the Nano Drak looks like it's going to be the same, but let's not start with the wings. Let's start with the main body. This is, as I said, exactly how it's arrived. You take it out, you see all the pieces. You can see those big things stuck out the top of it. Those will have to be cut off, and those are kind of molding marks, which is exactly the same as with the Mini Drak. And here are the inserted pieces of foam. They're going to go on top of the carbon spars when you've got all that sunk in, and then you have this collection of carbon fiber bits, both the spars, the things that the spars sit in, and a number 4, I'm guessing, of these kind of thinner rods. Now the rods are going to be sunk into the body, either side of the battery bay and underneath in the same position as well, and they provide an awful lot of strength and rigidity. These things, if you put together with the right glues, are pretty bulletproof. Now these two other pieces are the spars, the shorter one and a longer one, so make sure you have the right ones for the right pieces. And you can see that one of these is the piece that we're going to glue into the bottom of the body, and then the spars are going to go through it. So again, two of those, and we're going to have to make sure we get them in the right places, but it's obvious from the inside the wing which is which. In here are all the plastic pieces. So we have the vertical stabilizers, we have the cover for the middle part of the frame, and we also have the two little pieces that go over the auxiliary holes. I don't know exactly what you call them, I guess, on each side of the battery bay. Now on the Mini Drak, there are some kind of pretty cool ways that these all are held in place. I'm going to have to figure something out for this, because by default, again, there isn't any way to fasten them, with the exception of the battery hatch. at the back, we've got the same kind of things that we're going to have to screw in. We'll have a look at those in a sec. So these pieces are for the ends of the wings. This is the main piece that's going to go over the battery bay. Get onto that bag in a minute. It's going to sit like that. I'm going to have to figure out a way to keep the front in. These are the vertical stabilizers. Those are the pieces that go on each side. Again, they're not conforming very well, so I'm going to have to make a couple of little clips, plastic pieces that go in here. These little diamonds, a little drop of glue, they'll be in place, and they'll go over the carbon spars for the vertical stabilizers. And then that's all the bits there, really. In the bag, we have some metal pieces. This bit with all the holes in actually has to go. Let's take all these pieces off, so I need to make sure I don't lose any of this. It kind of sits in here at the back. Now, it isn't cut. You're going to have to cut that yourself and then glue it into position and push it home so it kind of fits kind of like that, but actually in that scored line. Again, using some nice strong glue. Then we've got the motor mount that bolts to it. We have a little bag of bits. Those are the little threaded inserts along with the screws to hold the battery stuff in place. And then we have a little roll of Velcro. Now this Velcro is to hold the wings in place. I know for lots of people they don't think it's strong enough. With the Mini Drak I've not had an issue. It kind of sits in here and you can just glue it into place, and it actually works really well. Now the carbon spars are going to sit like that. We're going to have to glue the guide in place. And once that's all done, we're going to glue on top this piece of foam. That's actually going to be structural by the time it fits in. That's just wide enough. And then we're going to have to trim it down with, again, a very, very sharp craft knife. So that will be each of those pieces. So that's all the pieces for the body. So hopefully that'll give you an idea of the things that we're going to have to do to put it together. Exactly the same, by the look of it, as the Mini Drak. Same kind of processes and everything. And then we got the wing kit. Now, a couple of different wings available. I've gone for the 40-inch version. That's probably going to be a slower speed, a bit more drag, but generating a lot more lift. I've already got the Mini Drak to fly it crazily. So hopefully with this, just carefully cut that. This is going to provide me with a little bit more endurance. Again, I'm hoping to fly this along with my friends in the sky, so out and out speed isn't something I'm particularly interested in. A lot of their models won't be like that. Now the finish on these wings is lovely. Again, we've got these little nubbins underneath that will have to be cut off, but you can see here how much more flat and recessed they are than the moulding marks. I'm surprised they didn't put the moulding marks on somewhere a little bit flatter for this, because I'm going to have to get a really good knife and cut that off. Again, we'll do that in the next video where I start building this. But yeah, a bit of a shame. We've got the channels for the carbon spars, and there'll be more of those in the box. And then we've got the channels for the other side of the, so it's going to fit like that. We're going to have to fit in, again, make sure it's pushed completely to the bottom, the carbon supports for the spar, and there's the other side. So these are the carbon things that we're going to have to sink into the wing for the other side of those spars. So in there like that, which is good. We have a, oh, looks like an extra set of wing ends in with this kit. Okay, that's fine. Well, they will definitely be used at some point, but I'll probably put them to one side in case I lose one of mine in the flight, because they are exactly the same size. Yeah, okay, so there's nothing different between the standard wings and these 40-inch wings. On the other side of the kit, we have the elevons. Balsa wood again, not cut or shaped. They're in this kind of triangular shape, and they're going to go at the back. They are way too long. Obviously this is the wrong side, but you know what I mean. They're way too long. They are going to have to be modified just a little bit to fit well, and then some of the foam to go on top of the pieces we've glued in. And then we should have, there should be 6 of these. Yeah, there is 6 of these carbon rods, and these are going to go in all of the recesses on the wing, top and bottom. So you've got these 2 channels at the bottom, and we're going to have to run glue into those and make sure that those are seated beautifully. exactly the same way as for the Mini Drak. And then another one there. Looks like, yeah, one or two of them may have to be shortened slightly, but they're perfect length, whereas with the Mini Drak you had to cut the ends off. They look perfect size. So I'm going to have to use something like masking tape to make sure the glue is in the right place, and then work it through. So there we go, that's how it all comes. Join me in the next video where we'll start putting this thing together, and then once it's all together we'll start putting the electronics in too. Thank you for watching my video and watching right to the very end. If you want to find out what I'm currently working on, you can follow me on social media by searching for Painless360 in the usual places. If you'd like to become part of the inner circle, then you can become a Patreon. Details are in the description and you get lots of additional benefits. Check out the playlist section on the channel too. I organise all of my videos into playlists, and it's called something like Introduction to or for Beginners. All of the content is aimed so that you can start at the very beginning, and it teaches you that subject, starting with simple principles and moving up to teach you everything you need to know.